Good old Titanfall. Good old Titanfall. And by the way, Parker, really good to see you, man. Go Star Wars 19. Hey, I've seen you in the comment section and all of that. I appreciate you. Don't you? Believe me, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. 1000%. You guys are the goats for sure. I got to talk about Titanfall. When we go back on my YouTube channel, right? Titanfall has played, if we go back a little bit, Titanfall videos on my YouTube channel, dude, people responded well in the Titanfall community to when I created Titanfall videos. And so I'm like, you know what, let's see if has there anything new to talk about with Titanfall? Because, obviously there's been a lot of talk about Apex Legends is hurting right now in terms of player count. A lot of people are, playing Marvel Rivals is the hottest game on the planet right now. A lot of people are, playing Warzone, Fortnite still. We got Ninja playing Fortnite back there. But Titanfall has a special place in my heart. I do like Titanfall a lot. And don't get me wrong, guys, when I say this. Apex is awesome. I love Apex. Look, I'm very glad that Apex exists because with Apex Legends existing, it almost continues the Titanfall universe in a way, even though it's not a single player story and all those different things where we're getting all the lore and stuff like that. But it's cool that we have a game as popular as Titanfall, more popular than Titanfall, that being Apex Legends. So Respawn needs to continue pouring resource and development into Apex Legends, but I really think that they can continue building this universe by doing another Titanfall. And I think that they would make a lot and merge the two, Apex and Titanfall, merge them. I think it makes you could have Apex Legends promotes Titanfall 3. Titanfall 3 promotes Apex Legends. It's a win-win situation. They're going to make money. And especially if Titanfall 3 is a solid entry in the series. Look, guys, this is the bottom line of what happened with Titanfall. Here's what happened. Vince Zampella, who was responsible for making one of the greatest Call of Duty games of all time, Modern Warfare 2, goes to Respawn, right? And EA as a whole to create Titanfall. And they did that. And the problem, though, I believe it was Titanfall 2, right? Yeah, I think it was Titanfall 2. They released Titanfall 2 just because of their ego and all this. I believe this. I think Vince, I love that guy. He's got a big ego, though. He wanted to go up against the heavy hitters of Battlefield and Call of Duty in the same year, and he smack dabbed, put Titanfall 2 in between COD and Battlefield. It was the worst business decision I have ever seen in my life. I thought it was a terrible decision to release Titanfall 2 when they released it. It released, and it really flopped. Because a lot of people were torn. Well, which game am I going to pick? Well, you got Call of Duty, which is the heaviest hitter of them all. And Battlefield was kind of, 1B to Call of Duty's 1A. And Titanfall was still trying to really build something, And Call of Duty even, they copied things from Titanfall. Titanfall was transcending the FPS genre with wall running and jetpacks and things of that nature. And Call of Duty copied those same things, And so then we got the fall of Titanfall, no pun intended. And then we got Apex Legends, which I think is awesome. I love Apex Legends. I think that it's great. And we're actually, you know what, guys? I've gotten people asking me, are you guys going to run tournaments for Apex Legends out of Zero Dark? It's a possibility. It's a significant possibility. My only thing is we're trying to figure out, because I have 14 stations inside of Zero Dark, can we... You don't want 14 people being a part of a tournament, right? and they all drop in, and they're going up against other people, random people across the world, and then they run into hackers, run into cheaters, things of that nature. So got to be really careful with that. But nonetheless, Titanfall 3, I think, is something that a lot of us want. And in this article coming to us from Comic Book and Logan Moore, developer Respawn Entertainment is reportedly early in the process of creating a new game set within the universe of Titanfall. Since the release of Titanfall 2 back in 2016, a number of fans have been clamoring for Respawn to make Titanfall 3. It's not a number of fans, it's a monster number of fans, but instead the studio has opted to only return to this world with Apex Legends, which continues to be the sole shooter that is being supported by Respawn. Now, in the wake of the company's Star Wars FPS having been canned, it sounds as though another return to the world of Titanfall could be in play. Now look, guys, so all rumors, speculation, nothing has been confirmed here, okay? Unless I'm totally missing something. But coming by the way of Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb, it was said that a new Titanfall game has recently been in the prototyping phase at Respawn. Grubb stressed that he has been informed that this project isn't Titanfall 3 and is instead another Titanfall-related game of some sort. To that end, Grubb said he's not sure why the studio isn't opting to formally call this Titanfall 3, but he did theorize that the previous cancellation of a Titanfall 3 internally at Respawn might now be why the developers are staying away from this naming convention. This game, as it stands today, as far as I understand, is a Titanfall game. It's in the Titanfall universe, Grubb said of the new project. But everyone I talk to keeps saying, well, don't get in your mind that it's Titanfall 3, a game with online multiplayer and a single-player campaign. I'm like, well, wait, what? Then what is this game? I still don't know. Could it be, guys, that they're kind of thinking about doing like an Apex Legends, not story mode, but could they take Apex Legends and kind of go from the sandbox that is BR and kind of change it into making like smaller maps and kind of being like Call of Duty, right? Could they, because obviously Call of Duty's copied a lot of stuff from Titanfall's universe, that being like wall running, jetpacks, during the jetpack era of Call of Duty. Could somebody else, that being like Respawn, start taking some things from Call of Duty and start making like smaller maps and 4v4, 5v5, 6v6, whatever they decide to do, where you have respawns. No pun intended, once again, this being Respawn, making this game. But could you have respawns, kind of like in Call of Duty? Search and destroy, team deathmatch, things of that nature. I'm wondering if that is what, I think that's what this could very well potentially be. Now, as mentioned this past week, Electronic Arts announced that it had canceled Respawn's upcoming first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe, which it first disclosed back in 2022. Which to me, I don't know why they did that. I mean, Star Wars is such a, huge franchise. And obviously when they came out with, the Star Wars, the last Star Wars game, Jedi Survivor, I was like, wait a minute, well, I know it was Jedi, but what was it called? These games have been very popular. So why wouldn't they go into that same, making like a first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe could have been really special, especially coming from Respawn. Respawn's been doing some pretty awesome stuff. But anyway, in the wake of this move, those at EA said they were going to focus more heavily on creating games tied to the company's own IP rather than those that are licensed. With this in mind, it would be very logical for Respawn to return to Titanfall, especially given that it's the developer's most notable original IP. 100% agree. 1000%. Even if this new Titanfall game does one day come about, it seems to be many years away. As Grubb himself mentioned, this latest Titanfall project has only been in the prototype phase for a short period, which means that there is still a lot of work left before it would ever enter full production. In the near term, it is known that Respawn is also working on a third Star Wars Jedi game, but this sequel is surely still multiple years off as well. and I'm just going to say this, guys, this is just me, and maybe it's just because I'm a Titanfall fan and everything else. I really believe that the Star Wars Jedi game, they should absolutely make. And I think they should do the Star Wars first-person shooter game too. I mean, but they need to work on the next Titanfall first. I mean, you got Apex Legends. It's a living, breathing ecosystem game where you got esports. You've got players that, play this game consistently. Like, Apex is a great game. You got to kind of continue striking while the iron's hot with that, though. I think that Apex is starting to fall off slightly. Like, let's look at this. Like, if we go... Maybe they got a tournament going on or something right now. Let me just take a look here. Apex. It's got 19K viewers. That's not bad. But 19K, I mean, they got 19.7 million followers. I remember when Apex first got announced and stuff. Man, dude, there was so much hype around that. There's certainly still people streaming it, playing it. But yeah, I think probably for like the major tournaments is when it's probably going to be at its peak. But anyway, I do think that they got to strike. This is just my personal opinion, guys. I feel like they've got to strike right now. Because if they don't, I just don't want people to lose, their love for Apex, which basically would mean that they're losing their love of Titanfall as well, And I mean, I haven't lost my love for Titanfall. I think, yes, that they released at the wrong time. The worst time that they could possibly release Titanfall 2, they released it. Right smack dab in the middle of COD and Battlefield. Made absolutely zero sense. But Apex Legends released kind of like out of the blue, and Apex was awesome. And it still is to this day. I think Apex is a great game. I just think that it's slowly starting to, dip off. And I really think that they need to focus in a major way on trying to keep people on Apex, but also continue building that lore, that story, whether that's adding other game modes like Call of Duty, like having like respawns, that being like search and destroy, team deathmatch, whatever game modes that they come out with, or making a Titanfall 3. That's what they need to do. And it sounds like they're working on something within the Titanfall universe. We just don't know what it is yet. So anyways, I want to hear your guys' thoughts about it in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this rumored Titanfall game that Jeff Grubb is talking about? I'm really interested, like I said, with Apex, it was at its peak, and now it's starting to stutter a little bit just with other games coming out and, with Warzone and all of its competition. But I would love to hear his thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And for more Titanfall 3 content and videos, keep it right here.